Okay, it's been a while since I've made a video. I wanted to comment on the Proposition 8 trial, otherwise known as Perry versus Schwarzenegger. I'm watching this, I've been watching it for the last 11 days. The transcripts have been up on www.prop8trialtracker.com. Okay, I'll put the text right down here so you can click the link if you haven't already looked at the transcripts. Last week it was mostly the plaintiff side expert witnesses that testified, and we got to see that, they made a very good case that Prop 8 was, the animus behind it was definitely motivated by religious sentiment. There's just no doubt about that. The Mormons, the Catholic Church, the Southern Baptists, whoever they may be that consider homosexuality a sin or an abomination or whatever they want to call it, they basically had their argument shredded to pieces last week. And even on cross-examination by the defendants, who are otherwise known as the proponents of Proposition 8, their cross-exam was hideously bad. Bad references, bad organization, terrible, terrible questions. And this week, of course, it's into the Prop 8, or the defense expert witnesses. And they have one guy up named Kenneth Miller. And Mr. Miller was interrogated by, obviously, Mr. Boyes on the plaintiff side. And the questions, Boyes is brilliant. He basically shredded Miller's argument completely, because Miller was even contradicting his own book. His own book. The guy did the research and wrote the book, and he still got caught up in a trap of logic, which I love, because the Prop 8 side has nothing. They have absolutely nothing but tired religious arguments, and that's it. I really do think that we're going to see a victory on the district level in California. Now, what I'm thinking is, the next step, obviously, if we win, the Prop 8 people are going to appeal it. And that'll go to the circuit court for California, and I think we may even win there. They will then appeal it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and of course, that's the big unknown. But the thing is, if you look at this purely from a perspective of what the Olson Boyes team tried, they said, look, we're going to lay out that, number one, there was animus behind Prop 8, which they have done amply now. Number two, they're going to go in and say that gay people, LGBT people in general, I should say, are what's called a suspect class. To give you an example of another suspect class, religion is a suspect class. And think about this for a moment. I didn't choose to be gay, but you can choose your religion, can't you? And yet that's a suspect class. The thing is, if you are a suspect class, a level of scrutiny has to be met called strict scrutiny, and it makes the arguments of the Prop 8 people that much harder to prove and to actually make something out of it. So that's why I say I think we're on the winning side of this, because the Olson and Boyes team has done a wonderful job of laying out the logical points to this. So hopefully, my ultimate scenario is, if the finding in this court says, yes, we win, when the Prop 8 folks appeal, the appeals court has the right to say, nope, we won't hear this. The Supreme Court has the right to say, no, we will not hear it, because they have a thing called a writ of certiorari, basically, that says, yes, well, we agree to hear this case. Because if the higher courts refuse to hear the case, that case law at the district level stands as the federal case law going forward, which would be wonderful if that was the case. That's, I think, the most elegant solution if they don't want to basically invoke the animus on our side and saying, look, that's a violation of our civil rights. And that would be the best thing they could do. But like I said, I think this is going to slog out right to the end, and I think we're going to be ultimately victorious. And to Maggie the Loathsome Gallagher, or Brian Pumpkin Face Brown, or Christopher the Whore Plant, nice try, guys, but in the end, we will be victorious.